G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel. If you've been following me for a while now, you would have seen some of these twisted up black pine, Japanese black pines that I've been trying to put some bends and interest into them previously. So I did a video probably 6 months ago or so where I've twisted and bent them up quite heavily, put tie wires in, lots of different things. I just wanted to have a look today and see how they're going, because it's been a good, summer's coming to an end here in Melbourne, and usually there's a bit more growth pushing here, but most of the growth is really starting to has happened here for the black pines, I think. But in terms of trunk thickening, and I do see some visible signs of wire starting to heavily cut in certain areas and not other areas. So it definitely has expanded and quite made a big difference. So today's about looking at all the wire. I'm thinking, most of the wire that is on the trunk bent around it, I think that's going to finally come all off. Maybe just this end here, which needs a bit more bending and twisting, we probably have to put some more in. But around this area, I'll probably just use tie wires and little tourniquets, I think they call them, tourniquets to tighten some areas up, bend some areas in. But I can see they're starting to all cut in, so they're all going to have to try and come off now. So I'll just show you some of these tourniquets here. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see. They're starting to cut in. That's fine. We'll just start to take them off. Let's see how the tree responds when I take them off. Does it bounce back? No, that's good. Let's keep going. So far so good. They're not really bouncing, so they're pretty much holding its place. The tree moves, but this is the one that I'm worried about. Maybe that will bounce too much, but we'll see. Because I want to put a little bracket in there so they don't join up in there. Because the two trunks are getting very close. I don't want them to join, so I've created a little gap there by putting a wedge in there, and actually it's worked. It's still growing. It hasn't bent down, so I might put that back in. It's that little wedge there just in case, just to make sure that's where we had the spot. So most of these are all holding nicely, so let's get rid of these other tourniquets. Got another wedge there, but that's going to fall. Yeah, so far so good. The tourniquets have worked, but because they're cutting in, we're going to have to take them off, because they've really put on the growth this time of year. That's really good. It's all holding pretty well, and there's the gaps that I was hoping for between each twist and bend. There's gaps between the trunk. If the trunks stay too close together, they'll all fuse. I'm not sure how that will really look, so I wanted to try and avoid that for now. Let's have a look. I can maybe try and show you in here, in this section. I'll try and come in close. You can see how it's really starting to cut in. Hopefully you guys can see that. So I've got to start to take off those bits. Down here it hasn't really cut in, so portions of it I might leave for now, but the portions that are really starting to cut in I'll take off. Nice 6mm wire trying to cut is pretty difficult sometimes. Really fattened up this section around here, because maybe that's where all the growth is. Really fattened up. Just might have to get my other cutters. Most of the times you just cut them into chunks and they should come off. Jeez, having fun here today. Let me just move it so it's easier for me to do it. And sometimes you've got to pry it open because it's starting to dig in. So I'm not too worried about if it's cut in, but because it will heal pretty quickly. So in this section here, it's cutting quite heavily. You can see that it's quite heavily cut in, but it's got some cambium on the other side. That will just heal over. So I've got no problems with that. That'll be fine. But it's a good time to catch them now. Pretty hard work. Sometimes it's easier just to get out your pliers and bend these out, because if they've dug in too much, then cut them off. Keep going all the way. These are raw cutting, so I've got to get them all off. Must be riveting stuff, everyone. Sorry, guys. Thought it would come off a bit easier than it is. Keep going, because it's pretty much all the way. This is all filled up. This section's not too bad. This section I might leave because it hasn't really cut in here, but this section has cut in quite severely. So let's see if I can unply this one now. Oh man, even if it's aluminium, it sets pretty hard. Like copper would be impossible to bend, but at this size, but aluminium. I'm worrying because it's probably easier than trying to cut these off. So I'm almost there. So pretty much I was going to stop about there. Cool. Oh, that was a bit harder than I thought. But you can probably see all the scarring and the wire marks, which at this stage, at this early development of the tree, it's not a big deal. They'll all heal up quite easily. Actually, yeah, I'll leave that one. Alright, so that's pretty much the wire that I wanted to take off. It's come off. Now, the tree has some interesting loops. It's a bit too uniform in this area, two loops that look like the same. We're going to have to try, I think we're going to have to try and make more tourniquets or some sort of something to try and create some interest, a bit more interest in this tree. Maybe get it to go up more or something. Maybe get a pole or something and get it twisted around the pole or something like that. Not sure yet. This needs a bit more of a bend in here, so I'm going to see if that will still bend. I'm just not 100% sure. I think ultimately what will happen is if this grows nicely, the tree will be in this area here. This looks really starting to get too long, but I'm leaving this because this is all the growth to make all that grow. So maybe that's what I will do. I'm not really worried about this section. I'm going to focus on growing these branches in here, but I'm not going to cut anything off. I'm just going to have that in my head. So this is purely for elongation of growth, getting the whole tree stronger, and we'll leave it at that. So I can cut that back more then. It's just getting too long and excessive, so we don't need all this wire then. Does it make sense? So because this growth, it looks all nice and healthy, but this is so now starting to get way too long. This is nice and cool, nice and interesting bit, but maybe the tree is going to be made of this branch and that branch. Maybe some of these back branches here will make a tree, rather than this whole tall bit where there's no growth in this section. Okay. All right, let's see. I don't know, what do you do? Do you want to go more upright tree? Or leave it hanging. It's hanging now mainly because of this heaviness here. But I think I wanted to achieve what I did. Now I just want to put the spacings back in. So all I want to do maybe now today is contort it and twist it and make it a little bit tighter in this area here. Make these all nice and tight and interesting. You never know, maybe we can keep that, but I think because there's no branching at all in between there to there. Actually, there's one at the back here. Actually, just saw that. There's this one at the back here, which is about here on the tree. So then this section, if we get rid of, but we'll keep this, and that keeps that interesting twist there. Then, oh, that's worked out well then. Just probably have to bring that around or somewhere sometime. But yeah. So today's about what's next. So let's try and tighten some of these turns. Yeah, that's about it, I think. Let's try and tighten some of these twists. Okay, I'll be back. Alright, so some of the areas I want to try and get closer is that if the trunk, follow the trunk line there, goes behind there and it comes around here and then it comes up here and goes out. This gap, this bit to this bit is too, I think I want to get it closer together. So that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to use a guide wire and pull those closer together. Maybe. Let's have a look. Again, if you had two people, this would be awesome. But if you're on your own, it is what it is. Just work slowly. Have everything ready to go. And try and pull. Now you can see I'm not really protecting the trunk from the wire or anything like that at this stage of development. The tree's still developing and growing, so any wire marks on the black pines will just grow out. So the hardest bit is trying to pull tight and then, without anyone's help, trying to tighten and then wire. It's pretty difficult. So the only way I sometimes do this is I put it in my lap and then I can actually do it better. So, I don't know if you missed that, but so because I'm here, I've got no, my legs aren't stopping bracing the tree. So when I'm able to do it, I'm able to pull and then twist. So I think that's coming a lot closer. I'm much happier with that. And we'll do that one. That's good. Now I'll put a little spacer in there. I'll just use whatever I've got because I don't want that to get any tighter. Now there's this straight bit here. I'm not sure if we can do anything with that just yet. Maybe I can get. Trying to think, if I make the tree taller, it'd be more interesting. But at this stage, not really worried. But what do we do? Do we want to bring this? I want to try and get this all nice and tighter. So yeah, we'll have to, and really contorted. Because I see those trees in the mountains, and that's what we're trying to achieve. So I'm going to try and wire this back one here onto that and see what it looks like. So let's get some wire. Actually, might have to do it the other way. Not 100% sure how this video is going to turn out, but I'm going to give it a go and see what it looks like. So all we're trying to do is grow some better stock so we can work on in the future. That's really all we're doing. I'm not really a big fan of just very straight trees or just subtle curves. Especially black pines, I like to see them twisted up, really interesting. It's just me. Well, you see my shimpakas are all little contorted little things. I don't really have a straight one anywhere. So made it much. This is all now a bit tighter, so that's good. We'll see what it looks like in the future. Not sure, not 100% convinced, but you know what it is. It'll be more interesting. What do we do with this bit then? I think I might leave that alone. What I'll do is I just want to twist this up because I want it to get all the sun it can get. So the sun will hopefully make that, you know, will grow towards the sun and put lots of energy into the rest of the tree. Well, into the rest of the trunk. So this is all now nice and contorted. Do we want to try and get any of this in closer? Or down? Or up? Maybe. I've got to find somewhere to... Because I'm going to only use it guy wise, I'm going to have to do something from here into down here. Or something to create that. But I do want to try and bend that around there. So we'll see. So they're quite flexible lines, I find. They're really flexible. So it's really quite good. So maybe I'll get a wire. It's a hard one. Yeah. So I just want to make sure we have our spacings, which is good. There's nowhere that it's touching. Actually, what's here? What's touching? Maybe we can leave it for now. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this bit, but we'll see how it develops. I think all it would be is try and make that a bit tighter, because then this will come into focus a bit more. But I'm not sure if I have to fully wire that around. Call it lazy maybe, I'm not sure. But I think this is now planning, we're planning maybe this branch to be really important. This branch in here off this trunk. This branch could be very important and play a big pivotal role in designing of the tree. Yep. Be very cool. I will put a bit of a guy wire maybe down and bring that around a bit more. Okay, let's try that. I'll try and leave that there. First of all, I want to contort this down. So put one there. Excuse me, just gonna... That's better. So I've tightened that big scoopy bit up, and this now will come. If I can just, what I want to do is try and bend this around so that this will come into the front, but won't do that today. There you go, that's the first crack or second go at making a bit more interest, tightening up the curves, but you do step-by-step process. So that's one black pine done. Bit of a tough little thing, but it's all worth it. In a few years' time, hopefully we've got a nice tree to style and work on. So you don't know what these trees look like. Lucky I've got videos. It'll be good to go back and see the progress of the tree. But that's it for now on this tree. I'm going to have a look at the other black pines that I've got, and I'll do a video on them as well. So stay tuned for those. But something a bit more. Hopefully this is something will be interesting in the future. So, all right, guys, take care. I'll see you guys next time.